with fun puzzles and collect tons of cool characters. Trust me, with over 100 million downloads, this 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must-play. Download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Epstein had previously been found with markings on his neck, deemed an attempted suicide, on July 23rd. He had been placed on suicide watch then, but after just 6 days, he was taken off of it again and moved to 9 South. Why was such a high-profile suicide risk taken off of suicide watch so quickly? Former prison warden Cameron Lindsay believes the blame for the decision goes right to the top.
Leadership development, sound correctional decision-making, prudent decision-making, in my opinion, would dictate that Epstein would not come off suicide watch. In my humble estimation, he should not have ever been pulled off the suicide watch until his case was adjudicated, and then he would have gone off to the facility of designation for the service of his sentence.
When Epstein was taken off of suicide watch, he was told a guard would check on him every 30 minutes, and that he would be sharing his cell with another prisoner. But on August 9th, his cellmate was suddenly transferred out, with no explanation. There was no replacement brought in. He was alone all night. Here's Spencer Kuven.
And coincidentally, he's supposed to have a cellmate, and they pull that cellmate just 1 day before his supposed suicide. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't match up. And I certainly think that some type of further investigation is required, because how can you ask the one agency that was tasked with protecting this man until his trial to investigate itself? There needs to be some kind of outside investigation to get down to the bottom of what happened inside that jail.
Outside Epstein's cell, there were 2 security cameras. If anyone had entered his cell that night, they would have been caught on tape. Except, on that one particular night, of all nights, both cameras mysteriously malfunctioned. Spencer Kuven explains.
Every square inch of that jail within the special housing unit should be under video surveillance. So the fact that, initially they came out and said there was a video, and then they said there wasn't a video, and now nobody has heard anything about a video, I seriously question that right off the bat. Where is the video? Where is the surveillance? This is one of the highest security prisons within a prison, arguably in the country, where some of the most highest value targets are kept. We're talking terrorists. We're talking bombers. High profile people are kept within this jail, and they want to now say that there's no video?
The cameras were not the only place where security failed that night. The 2 guards, who were assigned to check on Epstein every 30 minutes, instead left him unsupervised for 3 hours. Both claimed to have fallen asleep. Our prison experts are incredulous.
Well, that's a good excuse. Oh, I was asleep. I didn't hear this guy killing himself. I didn't hear whoever it was who got into the cell and strangled him. I was asleep. I mean, please, look, these guys don't fall asleep. They're on the job. They're not falling asleep. They were told, get lost. We don't want you to see this.
Well, I mean, you have to hold those staff accountable, but that's the more minor issue. The bigger issue is, why is that happening? And yes, I believe the Bureau of Prisons is short on physicians, but honestly, it comes down to leadership. No one's going to fall asleep in my unit if I'm the boss and I'm there. If I'm there in the unit, if I'm doing my rounds, if I'm diligent in the performance of my duties, staff aren't going to sleep. And that whole attitude has to come from the top down. And it has to permeate all levels of the organization. I find it very unfortunate that staff were sleeping on the job, if that is proven to be true. It happens. You can't excuse it. You have to hold them accountable. But I think, we need to understand the totality of the situation as well.
We actually have some late-breaking news on this matter. On November 19th, it was announced that the 2 prison guards from that night were charged with conspiracy and filing false records. According to the indictment, the guards were supposed to do frequent checks, but for 2 hours, they, quote,